So why did they go after a dead veteran? The Washington Post used a full section of this article to go after Combat Craig, a veteran who's no longer even here to defend himself. So let's talk about what that really said. Combat Craig was loud. Yeah, he was raw. Yep. But at the core, he was a veteran helping veterans. He made the system make sense for people who'd been ignored for decades. And a fun fact that many people actually do not know is that he recorded one of his first videos in this space with me. We met while working at a previous organization together. Like a lot of veterans in this space, we started this work because the system was not doing enough. So to see him turned into this poster child for this so-called fraud wave, a deceased veteran painted like some villain with no right to reply, that wasn't reporting, that was cowardice. And while they're writing about unregulated spaces, they haven't contacted the one organization that has been meeting with lawmakers to create ethical standards for this kind of work. That's exactly why I'm aligned with them, because the answer isn't just censorship, it's smarter regulation, accountability, and overall a veteran's choice. This article isn't about protecting veterans, it's about controlling the narrative. They're not exposing fraud, they're targeting anyone who dares to teach veterans how the system works. And I'll say this plainly, I know this space. I've seen the companies who act holier than thou now, the same ones who were charging thousands just a few years ago, but now they're condemning it. They're reform sharks. Some of them asked me for help to start their businesses. Others who talk like watchdog now were getting fired from their old groups trying to take over those same groups that now they're talking against. Even funnier, some of those people who wouldn't even pay me for a consultation on the business end as to how these things work and how to set up an organization went on to pay one of my closest friends on the technology side, not realizing that it would loop back around and I would made privy to this. I know who's who. I know the ex-sharks. I know the pivoters. I know the fake reformers, the ones that have reached out for these pseudo collaborations. It's a very small space is what I will say. But here's the difference. I don't speak for them. I speak for Veterans Network Champions Club, for VNCC, my organization. We don't file for vets. We teach them how to fight smart, with strategy, not shortcuts, with truth, not templates. Combat Craig wasn't perfect. None of us are, but he gave a damn. And I knew his real name from day one. His pseudonym was his pseudonym. That's his decision. It was his decision. And he helped more veterans than these reporters ever will. So if you're going to write about this space, don't drag a dead man's name to prop up your headline. Veterans deserve better. And this conversation, we're just getting started. Follow for more because we're not backing down and we're not letting anyone else rewrite the story for us. We will advocate, we will educate, we will show up and show the receipts with the facts. We made ourselves available to have a conversation. They didn't want to have one. As you saw in the email that I provided, I gave them content and data. They didn't want to use any of that. So you really don't care for information to have a discourse. What you really want is anything that fits your narrative. And I'll be sharing more about these organizations, these news organizations that have reached out to me over the years and some of the slimy things they've done because it didn't fit their narrative for their hit piece. Not the first rodeo that we've been on.